technical problems. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Weedcast. Before we get into it, let's do a little bit of business here. We can't get started without this. Now, for the serious part, and this is especially important given the topics we are going to discuss tonight, including anything related to High and Tight LLC or Mo High Tight or cannabis in general. Do not believe a single word I say or anything my co-hosts say. Do not believe anything my guests say without doing your own homework and consulting with qualified professionals. Seriously, we are here to entertain, provoke thought, and to share our perspectives. We are not offering medical, legal, or financial advice. The world of cannabis, particularly in Missouri, is very complex, with evolving laws and personal considerations that can vary. The internet is vast, libraries exist, and critical thinking along with checking local regulations is your best friend. So, listen, enjoy, but always do your own research and consult with experts when making important decisions. Do not take my advice. I am only slightly informed. Sure, I'm only slightly informed over here. Don't take my word for anything. Do your own research. That's good life advice right there. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into it. We got a good show coming up. Actually, the gentleman coming on is a friend of mine. I don't know if I get to say that. Most of the people I meet that come on the show are people that I've met since I've got into the cannabis space. Ken and I go way back. So let's go ahead and bring this gentleman on now so you can meet him. Let me make sure I'm all set up here. I think I got your microphone muted. Let me unmute you. There you go. Hey, Ken, what's up, brother?
How's it going, brother?
I'm good.
I love it. I love it.
So let me get into this right here. People want to get in touch with me. Contact the Weedcast. You can get in touch with me at mohightight@gmail.com. You can call me at 573-818-9985. I'm David Huckins on LinkedIn and Facebook. Look for my Facebook page, High and Tight LLC, or I'm 420 High Tight on Instagram. How about you, Ken? Do you want people to be able to find you, or are you going incognito these days?
No, they can definitely find me. I'm always just my first name, last name, and pretty much everything. Ken Cheadle on social media, Ken Cheadle pretty much everywhere. So same thing with my website as well, Ken Cheadle. So, all of it is all laced to me. I used to do it differently, but I like it all coming right back to where it all started, which is the name.
Right on, yeah. I had a little bit of problem early on with that with Mo High Tight. So not everything got Mo High Tight. Some are 420 High Tight. It's best if you can kind of keep it uniform. It makes it easier for people to be able to find you. So congratulations to you. Let's see. I think I had one more thing I wanted to do before we got into it.
All right.
Let me see. No, I think we're all good to go. Oh my goodness. Pardon me. Let's just do this. To kick things off, like we always do, I'd love to hear a little bit about your cannabis experience. What are you comfortable telling us about your first cannabis use?
My first cannabis use was probably back a little bit after we started going from overseas, because I didn't smoke then, but remember we used to go overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to have a lot of friends that smoked, and I even sold it, but I'd never consumed it at all. It was after we got back from that, doing a lot of trips like that overseas, and like probably going through some things with relationships, marriage, shit like that. And that's when I kind of got off into like, let me try this. Since everybody says this is a good stuff, let me give it a try. I remember the first time I did it, like I couldn't roll anything, so I took like a black and mild, like basically took all the inner workings of it out and then stuffed it. And I kept on doing that. People's like, man, you're wasting a lot of weed. I'm like, I look at it now, because I was doing that way back then. I look at it now, it's like, that was the wave, because now everybody's stuffing their damn things. And I should have jumped on top of that way back when, but we do.
So how old were you at that time?
Man, probably around like 20, maybe like 26, 27, give or take. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you were selling it before, but not using it. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I remember how that got started. I was up in college, actually. And, like the military paid for me to go to school, and they paid for, the books or whatnot, but they didn't pay for my apartment, the lights and things like that. So
Sure, yeah.
after I got the stipend, to take care, like the little monthly stipend I used to get. I was like, man, I still don't have enough money to take care of these things, but I was really focused on not working too hard so I could make sure I got through school. And I was doing two different colleges. Like I was doing Missouri Western, I was doing another community college because I wanted to graduate a little bit earlier because like going off to the military, I had missed a lot of time that my friends had already gotten ahead of. So I remember being up there, and one day we came home and the lights was out. I was like, this ain't gonna work. So I went back down I drove from Mo West back down to Kansas City, and I had a lot of family that was into it, and I told them what the situation was. I remember going back up to Mo West, and I had a brick.
Yeah. So your family's like, here, sell some weed. This is a great idea.
Yeah,
Right,
this is what's going to get you going.
Right,
So I
okay.
remember.
So did they front you like some products so that you could get going?
Yeah, front me a brick, a whole brick.
So so this was a brick. So this is back in the day. This is back in the day
back
a little bit.
Mexican garbage, baby. Mexican garbage. It was a nice little pound.
Right. And, yeah.
Sitting in front of my brother, I was like, this is what we got to do to make money. And he's like, all right. We called over our friend who did sell weed. And we was like, we don't know anything about this. Can you tell us what the grams should be? So we wrote all the grams on what it should be, like an eighth and a seven on the box, on a shoe box. And from there, I went to Walmart and got me a scale, and we was in business, baby.
Yeah. Some little baggies, and that's all you need, really.
That's all you need. I mean, it went like hotcakes. I was making that run back and forth to Kansas City pretty often.
Oh, wow. Cool. So that kept you going.
Yeah.
So you're a legacy guy then. So this was back before it was legal medically in Missouri. Would that be accurate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were straight illegal back at the time.
Right. Yeah, I had some legacy dealings myself, mostly with usage. I've been smoking since I was like 11. So.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, when we worked together, I just thought you was like the most pure and clean guy.
Oh, really? I was high constantly. That's why you thought that. I was stoned every day, all the time. No, that's not true. I wasn't. There's actually long periods in my life where I didn't smoke because I either wasn't allowed to or it just wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And that was kind of one of those. Not only was it not allowed, I just felt like, if we're going to be, servicing our soldiers, they deserve us to be at our best, So,
I mean, that's enough to do in that space anyway. Like we were doing all the drinking and everything that comes along with it. I just didn't have a desire for it at that time, but everybody else seemed like it.
All right, so you brought it up. So how Ken and I met each other is we used to be contractors for the military, doing IT work, and we got into some shit sometime. I don't know if the statute of limitations is over yet, but over now. In South Korea, we got into some shit a couple times over there. Some good times. I don't know. But we used to drink. I'm glad I don't drink at all anymore. I just don't drink.
Yeah.
That was part of my weight loss journey, though. Is I started drinking just mostly only water as much as possible, and then I started drinking when I was out, and people would say, "Hey, have a drink," and I would. But then I was just like, "It's just empty calories, and I don't really enjoy it anyway. There's no point." So I just don't drink anymore.
I hate the feeling when you get up. Like for me, it's not worth being groggy or being
for sure.
Hungover, especially at this age. I'm not interested in being hungover. And I don't like those effects. So like now I'm more of I kind of find myself as a social drinker. Like I'll drink wine, but right now I've been on a detox from all that stuff for about 30 plus days or whatnot. Just doing something different. And, I don't it's never anything I felt like I needed to have. It was always something that was social. Alcohol has been a disruption to my family. Like I lost my mom behind alcohol and other relatives.
Oh, no.
It wasn't it has its place, but it doesn't run me, if that makes sense,
Sure. Well, and a lot of people are getting California sober, which is they smoke weed, but that's it. They don't do anything else. They don't do any other drugs. They don't drink. California, they're calling that California sober.
I like that.
And I read an article recently where they did a survey and the amount of people that admitted to drinking alcohol dropped 1% since last year. So it's becoming more popular to not drink, which I'm all for, because I think about the times that I drank and acted a fool and did
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and you know,
And
I'll,
that's interesting because a lot of those alcohol companies they spend 30, 40, $50 million a year in advertising. So to see people being able
sure,
to combat that is really interesting.
for sure. Um, I actually had some real questions. That was just some kind of preliminary stuff.
Yeah, just kind of gets going.
Yeah. Just kind of let people know how Ken and I know each other. So we've been knowing each other for a long time. And I know a lot of people, and I wouldn't say I'm friends with a lot of people, but I would say that Ken and I,
Definitely
uh,
friends.
we're two people that we're two people that have known each other a long time. And I can't remember ever a time ever having any friction or any problem with Ken. We've always been solid, good people to each other. I can't remember us ever having an argument. Can you?
Nope, not at all. I could
No,
remember,
no.
and we used to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were,
Yeah. We used to have a lot of fun together.
yeah. You taught me a lot
We
of,
both changed a lot.
by far,
What's
by
that,
far.
brother?
So you used to teach me a lot of things to say. Like we used to talk a lot of shit. Like, what you over there doing crying like a little old bitch?
Yeah. Right. Always whining like a little bitch. You're like, that's exactly how they do.
Man, we used to get into a lot of it with that. But no, I would say in that group that we had, I found a kinship in you or whatnot, and that kind of allowed us to vibe. You were into things I was into. You were still into spiritual things back at that time as well. You were into martial arts as well, so you were willing to teach things. You had a way about being patient that I really recognized and I admired back at that time because doing what we did, a lot of people didn't have patience, and you actually didn't have a lot of patience for some people, but you had it for me, which I
Yeah.
appreciated.
You're right. I don't tolerate other people's bullshit. You know what I mean? If people are cool with me, I'm cool with them. And if they're going to give me, grief, then, I'm not trying to do anybody's job for them. A lot of people were trying to get me to do their job because I was competent at more than
Yeah,
just what I was doing. And I'm like, I'm not, if, if my shit is covered and I have time, I'll come over and help you, but don't expect me to get you going when my stuff's not ready.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
there's a lot of stuff I don't have tolerance for in the workplace and doing somebody else's job. I actually got lectured by the manager one time because he's like, you know how to go over there and fix that problem, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I know how to fix his problem. Why doesn't he? You know, he's the lead over there. You know,
Exactly.
I,
And
I'll go over there and help him when my stuff is set up. Because if I get him set up first and then I'm not ready to go when the exercise starts, then I'm the a-hole. Because
exactly,
my system was like a box that talked between the military system and the computer simulation to make the simulation work in the background. If my piece didn't work,
none of it.
nobody was working. So I was like, sorry, boss, I'm doing my job first. He didn't really
And just,
like that, but
and just for reference for the people out there, like we were teaching our allies how to fly drones and predators before it was ever a thing. So everybody talks
yeah,
about these drones and stuff. We were doing that back in 2009, 2010, 2011 before it was ever a big to do.
we were doing military simulations to train soldiers for combat. It was actually pretty badass what we were doing.
Yeah,
Very rewarding too, I thought. Anyway, I really enjoyed working for the military.
yeah, most definitely. Especially after I got out,
I,
that was a good way to kind of segue in my life. So I liked it.
I still live in Leavenworth, and I go up and I work out on base like 3 or 5 times a week at the Gruber Gym at Fort
Yeah,
Leavenworth.
yeah,
And it's just kind of a way for me to kind of connect with the military community. I usually just keep to myself, but it's just nice being around, my brothers and sisters in there. It's
yeah.
inspiring watching all those badass warriors in there, coming in, getting into shape.
I remember those days.
Yeah,
Especially when we did a lot of working out up there. That CrossFit, everything. A lot of good training there. That
yeah,
was interesting.
they're doing taekwondo, and they're doing CrossFit and jujitsu,
Mm,
and they got a combatives room in the back now, and they got some of the most modern equipment in there. And they just had the most modern equipment and then replaced it all with more modern equipment 2 years later. So they're really keeping it really nice in there for the soldiers. They got a nice gym.
I'm going to have to try to go up there and check it out.
You should. Let's work out together, man.
I'm with that program. I
Yeah.
just recently got my 100% from the military for disability. So,
Oh, really?
oh yeah,
What
got
kind
that.
of what kind of fitness stuff do you do? Do you lift weights, or what's your regimen look like?
Yeah, definitely a weightlifter. Still, I do a little bit of cardio. I would like to do more. Like I used to do a lot of boxing back when we were together. I don't do that as much anymore, but I wouldn't mind getting back into it. But definitely a weightlifter. As far as cardio goes, man, it's here and there. Like I'll do it, but it's not. I still don't like it. Like I feel like I ran enough when I was in the military, so I'm still
Yeah.
trying to go from that high.
And exactly that reason is why so many former military guys get fat right after they get out of the military, because they're like, I ain't ever running again, but they're still eating like they were when they were in the military, and that weight just comes on, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And actually, a lot of times they're eating worse because we ate pretty healthy at the chow hall. You know, the food was
Oh yeah,
usually pretty good, so it wasn't like fast food and processed crap that most people are shoving it down their neck holes these days.
yeah. Burger King on base is probably a killer for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. Yeah, they do have fast food for sure. Uh, okay, here's one for you. As someone who talks about mindset transformation, what role, if any, does cannabis play in your life today for creativity, focus, or unwinding? Do you use it for any of those things? I know you're not currently consuming, but
Yeah. Most definitely. So I guess and like of course, like I said, I didn't. But when I started to get off into it, it was I got to a space where I just didn't want to do it to do it. You know what I mean? I wanted to understand what it was doing to me and the effects. And when I grew up, we were more interested in like the THC, like it had to be high. Now I'm more interested in the terpenes. So what does it do as it relates to what my creativity is going to be? So in the morning, I like to get a couple of puffs off a nice sativa that keeps me focused and locked in to where I can push through work. So like any type of work that I'm doing for my brand or my business or whatnot. I like to be in that space with it. And then I would say that that's pretty interesting. The focus aspect as well, the sativa is good for that. But when it comes to unwinding at the end of the day, what I would consider like the beer aspect of it, I like a nice hybrid leaning indica. That'll kind of get me in a good space. That's my beer, if you will, like after 5. And just kind of wind it down, man. Get into a nice little space where I can talk crap with my friends or watch a nice little game or just kind of, get into a space of just chill. However, if I want to do some late night meditation, then I'll kind of stay away from the indica and still stay with the sativa thing like that. I like to be
okay.
able to have that creative juice flow. I like to be able to have that central focus so I can get off into a nice good meditation.
I used to a lot of times would say that I like indica or sativa, or I like um, this strain or that strain, but I
Yeah.
stopped doing that because, like, I had this one Gorilla Glue one time that I was getting from this guy that was freaking amazing. This would put me down. You know what I mean? I have a little bit of that, and I'm just on the couch, stupid. I'm ready to go to sleep or just watch a movie or just do nothing for a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Gorilla Glue's my shit. So I started getting Gorilla Glue, and I get it from other places, and it just wasn't the same. Or I'd get an indica, and I would expect the sedative type effects, and then be disappointed. So I think it's a lot more about the terpenes,
Definitely.
and
These days.
and so smell and learn what those smells are. And when you
Yeah.
find the smells that you like, and they give you the effects that you like, that's, to me, that's the best way to find out if you're going to
Almost
like it. Not by strain or indica sativa. That's usually
definitely.
disappointing in my
Yeah.
experience.
No, I totally get that. So, like, yeah, I would say that was been the transformation to me getting over the terpenes because, like I said before, it was originally just like, how high can I get? So I wanted
Sure,
to
yeah.
sink into the couch and be, sunken space or whatever, if you will. But it was later on that I started to realize like what this was. I'm like, well, what's the terps on this? And it was because I was hanging out with bud tenders that I even figured out what that was.
Oh,
And it was
right,
like, oh,
yeah.
yeah, he's like, well, you actually need to look at it this way. And I'm like, okay. There's like, what do you want to feel like? I'm like, what do you want to feel like? I want to be high. And he's like, no. What do you want to feel like? What
Yeah.
place do you want to be at? And I was like, oh. And that's when I started to figure out what the terpenes was, the palette that I like. So I like the limon or whatever they call it, limon, whatever that is. Like I like that flavor. I like that.
Limonene.
Yeah, limonene. I like that. I like that citrus, that space. Like it
I
gets
do
me into.
too. And
Yeah.
limonene can smell like, to me, it can smell like a lot of different things. Like usually, like fruity, but
Mhm.
fruits always.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes lemon, sometimes orange. Sometimes
Mhm.
it smells a little orangey to me. Sometimes a little bit grape. I like pinene, and it's always easy to smell because it always smells like you just rubbed your face in a sappy pine tree.
What
Uh,
about the one with the M? What's the M one?
Myrcene, yeah.
Yeah. So I figured out if you take mango or you eat some mangoes along with smoke immersing, like it like doubles the high
Oh,
because
really?
yeah,
I
because
love
mango
mango.
is all in
You don't
it.
have to
So
give me an excuse to eat mango. I love mango.
yeah, so it spices it up a little bit.
Huh. I didn't know
Mm,
that. I definitely will have to try it
yeah.
now.
So to learn all the little tips and tricks. Like, oh, does that work? Works.
Right.
Okay.
We're about 20 minutes in. Let's take a quick pause for a commercial break. You're going to love this, Ken. Check this out.
All right.
Is your life feeling empty? Lacking a certain spark? Are you suffering from a critical lack of Dave? You need more Dave in your life, and now you can get it with the Dave experience from the Weedcast. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
My life was so boring before Dave, but now I have Dave, and everything is Dave. Thanks, Dave.
That's right. With a sponsorship on the Weedcast, you can get all the Dave you can handle. Dave will talk about your brand. Dave will promote your event. Dave, Dave, Dave!
But seriously, if you have a brand or a service in the cannabis space and you want to get your message out to our amazing community, I'd love to partner with you. Sponsorship on this show is a direct line to a dedicated audience. Because who else would tolerate that drivel?
I like it. So Dave.
Dave. What do you like the commercial, man? You like that?
Love it. Love it.
I put at least 15 minutes of work into that. There's the one I want. If there's yours, there you go.
All right. Hey,
yeah, I thought so. My mom thinks I'm cool.
that's all that matters, right?
No, not if you're trying to pay the bills. Let's see. Before you were a coach, you had a career in the corporate world of healthcare.
Yeah.
At that time, did you have to hide your cannabis use?
At
Or
that
were
time,
you even using cannabis then?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. My
like
boy,
I was
my
2
man.
years ago, yeah, I got over into contracting, again, like working for myself, but still in the healthcare space. I would say that, when I'm on clock and stuff like that, I try to stay away from any of those type of things more and less because, one of the things that we do with the contracts I do, like we help a lot of veterans, we do a lot of things in the healthcare field, and I take that real seriously. But when I'm outside that space, I'm in Missouri, so I'm me. I allow myself to be legal or whatnot, and to kind of do my whole bit. But beforehand, nah, you got to keep business and pleasure, and I like to keep them separate for various reasons. I've been in spaces where I've like, oh, well, I think it'd be okay if I just get high today, and just couldn't keep up functionally, like with the way that I would perform or whatnot. Like you feel like it's there, but it ain't there. It ain't there like it normally would be there. You know what I mean? So I can feel effects or whatnot. Like one of the things I used to love to do is like I'm like, oh, I love to golf, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and get high a little bit before I go out here and golf because I used to play with a guy that would get high before he golf. I mean, this dude would shoot lights out every time. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do the same thing. No, I can't. Like it's totally the mechanics slow down. Like the thought process is great. Like everything I think I can do, like the brain is there, but the body is just it's 1 or 2 seconds behind, and that 1 or 2 seconds is the golf swing. So
Sure, if you can definitely tell if you're an athlete and you're doing something, anything that's off. If your diet is off, if your sleep is off, if your stress is off, anything like that is even off. I remember I used to smoke cigars, and I'd have a cigar like maybe once a week or something, and then I'd go to the gym and I couldn't breathe, even like the next day, and I'm like,
Right.
wow. And you don't even inhale the smoke, or you're not supposed to when you smoke cigars, so you're not getting that much stuff in your lungs, you would think, but you can definitely tell. You definitely
I
can.
didn't like the aftertaste in the mouth, pause, but like I didn't like the way that felt. Like, you wake up the next day and it just lingers. I'm like, I did this yesterday, but it's
Yeah.
still there. I'm like, I don't like that necessarily.
Yeah.
Uh, Now let me ask you a question. Like when you do and
Uh-oh.
when you partake in weed, like how do you do it? Are you a bonger? Are you a blunter? Are you a easy waters? Like how do you go in?
My favorite way is I make an infused blunt. And let me explain to you what a blunt is.
All right,
Because
go ahead.
a lot of people, a lot of people, I've had people hand me a joint before and say, here, smoke this blunt with me. And I'm like, this is not a blunt. Okay, so a blunt, I mean, old school, I've been smoking blunts since from back in the day, when it was, people were talking about it and it was something weird to do. It's got to be
Yes.
done with tobacco. You got to roll it with
Yeah.
a tobacco leaf, and I like Philly's chocolate blunts.
There you
That's
go.
my thing. I got to special order them. They used to be on the shelves all the time back in the day when we started smoking. It was
Yes.
that and Swisher Sweets and White Owl, and those were the ones that you could get. And so I guess that's what I got used to, and I still have to special order them because that's what I like. Backwoods is not too bad, but it's a natural leaf and it's kind of a little trickier to roll with. But so
That's
anyway, a
my
blunt is it's got to have tobacco either roll like in the leaf or in it. You can actually even put a little bit of tobacco like in a blunt if you want. Some people
yeah.
do it. It kind of enhances the effect. Gives it a little bit more of a kind of a buzz high, I guess. I really like it. I like the flavor, and a lot of people don't like it. That's okay. More for me. But how about you? How do you like to smoke?
Backwoods, baby.
Oh, really?
Just oh yeah. So I remember I could never roll them or whatever. My brother used to roll them all the time, but now like we could be on our way somewhere and I could one hand damn near get it all the way to where it needs to be in like less than less than a minute. It's like it's crazy that you get that good at something. Like how did I get this good at it? But beforehand, I just used to poke. I have all type of rips and tears, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But then I figured it out. And for me, like, yeah, I like that particular the high because it's peaceful, it's quiet. It's definitely a mix between a cigar, if you will, and and then I like the slow burn. The
Oh,
thing I
yeah. Yeah.
like about the joints is that they quickly burn. So I like to like if I'm going to roll something, I'm going to smoke it. Then I want it to have some longevity. I can let in the backwoods when you let it go. If you decide that you don't want to finish it off and you just set it down, it goes out on its own. You don't have to necessarily ash it out. It just kind of goes out. I'm like, oh wow. But if you set down some other paper, it's just going to keep on burning. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I like the aspect of it. So you don't have to necessarily finish a whole blunt if you don't want to. You can get through a few puffs and kind of just sit back and let the breeze hit you. So I like that.
So we are in agreement then that a blunt contains tobacco of some kind. It's either
Yes, sir.
like a wrapper or it's got some kind of tobacco in it. Usually it's the wrapper. But I've seen
100%.
people take and put it in like a hookah, break
Mm-hmm.
it up and put it in a hookah and mix in some tobacco with that. So I've seen people mix it in
Yeah.
with it also. And that's old school. They used to do that, I think, in the chillum when they smoked with the chillum. Are you familiar with
Yeah.
that? That's okay. Yeah, I think they used to put hash and tobacco in there,
Yeah.
a
And
mixture
then
together and
when
stuff.
you're talking about some of my uncles, that's their language. You start talking
Oh,
about
okay,
hash, yeah, they know all that.
nice.
All that. What about Keith? Do you put Keith on the outside of your blunts or anything like that?
No, I split my blunt open, the cigar
Mm-hmm.
open, and then
Mm-hmm.
I take all the tobacco out, and then I'll heat up some concentrate till it kind of liquefies a little bit, and then I'll drop that on the inside and rub it around with a tool on the inside, and then
Definitely infused.
I take a glass tip and I
Yeah,
roll it,
yeah, yeah.
put a glass tip in it, and then the weed in it, and then roll it all up like that, and then that's what I like to
Yeah,
do. That's my favorite way to smoke.
yeah. They got a brand called Packwoods that gives you the glass tip and it kind of rolls up just like that. That's
Oh,
interesting.
really? Huh.
Yeah, so Packwoods is different than Backwoods, but they kind of got their own brand, and they got
Oh,
the whatever, and they have the key from the outside, and you can put the
huh.
weed in. Yeah,
Really? Where do you
yeah,
find that at? Packwoods. Where do you find that at?
man, they got a couple of stores down here. I'll get you some when we link
Okay.
up. I'll get you
Are
some
they
and let
having
you.
them at like smoke shops
Yep,
or?
smoke
Okay,
shops.
smoke shop. So right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah,
So
dude, we need to link up.
most definitely, I should break my detox around a little bit after Thanksgiving. So I'll be it'll be good times.
Right on. So that's tell people about your detox. You've mentioned that a couple times. Now I'm going to ask. Now I'm going to ask you about it. Tell people what you're doing.
Oh yeah, so I decided like I'm all about like we're talking about smoking backwoods or shit, but outside of that, I'm pretty much a health nut. So like the way I consume food. I mean, you remember me back when we were working up at the base and whatnot. I'm
Right. Yeah.
bringing egg whites and everything, blowing up everybody's smells. They're like, dude, this smells bad, but I'm trying to eat healthy. So I've
Right.
always been on that kick or whatnot. Now that I've gotten into the age of 43, man, I see a lot of peers and elders starting to get cancers and things like that. So
Oh yeah.
I wanted to, always stay with preventative health. So I decided to do this cellular regeneration detox, which
Okay.
basically it takes all of the cells that may be going bad or have too much mucus. So mucus is good for the cells because it kind of helps protect it. But if you get too much mucus, whether you're eating it or consuming things from your environment, then it starts to smother, which causes hypertrophy. So then once that smothering starts to happen, that's when the disease starts to happen inside the body. So this cellular regeneration program or detox I'm on allows me just to eat everything alkaline. So I eat fruits and vegetables all day, and I drink spring water. I've lost about 20 pounds doing this, which is crazy.
Wow. And how long and what amount of time? Oh, I just lost audio with you for some reason, Ken. Did you click something on your end? I can't hear you anymore. There, now I can hear you.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I think.
All right. You're
Okay,
good?
yeah, now I can hear you. Yep, we're good.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But I was saying like I wanted to make sure I stay ahead of that. So that this detox, like it pretty much cleans out all of the bad cells and regenerates brand new cells, whatnot. So I wanted to get into a space where I did that. So that took me away from eating any type of meat, which I really didn't eat that to begin with anymore. So it's only fruits and
Any type
vegetables
of
and
meat at
water.
all?
Yeah, man, I got into a space where I only ate salmon towards the later part of my
Oh
years and
wow.
whatnot. So
I love
um,
salmon. Not even eggs. Well, how about eggs?
nope,
How about meat product? Oh, not even cheese.
nope.
How
I
about
mean,
French
just I mean,
fries if they're cooked in fat? Good old American greasy fat.
okay.
No.
Now I would say that is my one Achilles heel of all things. Damn fries.
Okay.
That's an American trademark. I think
I
everybody
know.
succumbs to fries, bro.
I know.
It's-
I know. It's yeah. That's not fair. Yeah, that's like kryptonite for sure. That's like kryptonite to everybody,
exactly.
just about. Yeah.
I was looking at a study that says if you eat fries, I think 2 or 3 times a week, you probably shorten your life by 5 years. So then I tried to move to air fries, and
Yeah.
it's not the same, but we try to work what we can. Like
Yeah.
because like my deal is I've been working in healthcare for like the last 19 years. So when I look at it that way, I believe that just watching how the trends and things go, I think we all have enough medicine that, that's out there that we'll all be able to live long lives at this point, but it's the quality of life that you're going to have at the end of it. And I want to be like some of my elders that were 80, 90, still moving around, still driving and things like that. And not some of these people I see now that just kind of consumed anything and any product that we could have out there. And they come to the doctor with grocery sacks full of medicine. Like I don't want to end up in that space. So I've met real, sometimes you got to sacrifice some things that you love so that you can have the longevity that you really do love, and that's been around. So that's what kind of got me in that space.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Um, right now, I'm trying to sacrifice being the most handsome person on the planet so that everybody else doesn't have to suffer through the torture of having to do that. It's just something that I
More
got going
days.
on. And then a bee stung me right in the middle of my face right here. Now I'm hideous. Look at this. I started the podcast, and then my wife came out here and said, "Put on your glasses."
Now, was you agitating this bee, or this bee just decided she was the person for the day?
Oh, it was early in the morning, and I go out like I do every morning, and I gather some mint from my yard out front. And I was gathering some mint, and this bee I think it was a bee. It came at me so fast, and boom! I don't think whatever it wasn't like a honeybee, because they usually give you a little warning,
Yeah.
This one just came straight at me, boom, hit me right between the eyes, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then I just left. That was he won. And then I was like, "Oh no, something bad just happened." Yeah.
Do the exact spot. I see you. Pop. Yeah. That's
right between the eyes, right on the bridge of the nose, exactly right between the eyes. He got me good. I'm glad he got me between the eyes. If it was just a little bit one direction or the other, it would have been right in the eye, probably, or the eyelid. That could have been a different story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your podcast, The Adverse Effect. How does the theme of turning challenges into opportunities apply directly to someone trying to break into the legal cannabis industry?
Yeah, so that's an interesting. So the adverse effect, let's start there and then we'll answer that question.
Yeah.
The adverse effect is basically about, like, one of the things I realized is that a lot of us go through a lot of the similar things, but we don't believe that that's happening. We believe that what we're dealing with is singular and it's only happening to us and we're the only ones that are experiencing this thing. But what I've come to learn through my travels throughout the country, throughout the world, is that, of course, I've never met a stranger. So I'm on these planes, I'm talking to different people. I'm like, man, you know what? This is a good story. I've heard this story before. Or this is something that, I feel like that's very interesting. I think people should hear about this. And what I've just discovered, like I said, people are going through different adversities. And I've started talking to people and seeing how they were getting over these adversities or how they were weaving their ways through it. So I thought it was a good idea to put out a podcast where we could talk about certain adversities and then, not maybe solve somebody else's adversity directly, but if they heard somebody that was going through something similar, they could then take that and like, hey, I can do this now. Or, first you see a sense of community, but also you see a sense of myself. Like I can probably utilize some of the things this person, he or she may have said, or just that inspiration that they found a way that I too can find a way. So that's how we can, birth that particular outfit there. So going to the question.
Can I tell you what that sounds like to me from my experience as a child? That sounds kind of like going to the old folks' home.
There you go.
Know what I mean? When I was a kid, they'd make us go like as part of a school thing. We're going to go to the old folks' home, and we're they wouldn't even tell us beforehand. Sometimes it was a surprise. We're just going to go talk to them. And you sit down there and talk to the old people, and absorb some of that wisdom. Some of them have some amazing things to say.
Exactly.
Kind of a similar type deal, only it's on your podcast and it's electronic, so you can reach a bigger audience. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that rewarding?
I mean, I think that, very much so, man. I think that it's paramount that we learn from each other, but we also, again, understand that we're not the only ones going through things, so that you feel like, okay, life is not just happening to me, it's happening to everybody. And then, the flip side of that program is to not, get to a space where you're not allowing life to happen to you, but where you're actually happening to life. So, a little flip on it. So going to your question, how does this theme turn challenges into opportunities and apply directly to someone trying to break into the legal cannabis industry? I would say that's one of the bigger challenges. I think that there are a lot of systems at play that make it seem like there's going to be opportunities for, other folks to get in. So we were talking about micro business licenses, or even the original licenses that first came out. I remember applying for some of these things with my friends, and those applications were expensive. You're paying $5,000-$10,000, only be rejected or not even be looked at seriously or whatnot. So then when the micro business aspect of it came out, we thought that, hey, this would be a good deal. And me and a couple other military guys decided that we would kind of get off into that space. And I had another friend decide he would kind of get off into that space. And one of my friends, he was the only person that got one, but everybody else just seemed like they got taken for a ride. And then
who was it?
Oh, they got one. I got a guy named
Yeah.
his name is Ken as well. We call him Black Ken, and he ended up getting his license to do a grow. So he has a grow facility down in the West Bottoms.
What's his Ken? Is he doing that? What is it? Flavors or whatever?
Yeah, that's Black Ken. Yeah. That's my
Uh,
guy.
okay, I know him. I contacted him early on. I know him. We've spoken before. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
I need
that
to
used to be
reconnect
my
with him.
original dealer right there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Pusher. But nah, really great guy. And I'm really rooting for him and some of his outfits and whatnot. I've tried to invest in what he's got going and whatnot. But he still faces the same challenges like that we all face. Like you seem like you are halfway home or
Sure.
you have some things in place, but then you figure out that the system has more systems within inside the systems, and those systems aren't necessarily geared towards you. No matter if you're a veteran, no matter if you've been somebody that's been in trouble with the law, and then they're giving you this opportunity, or you're a minority, all these things sound good on paper or via speech. But then when you start to get behind the curtains and the scenes, you start to see that it's a very tricky game. There's a lot more at stake than what you thought. And I think that's the hang up. It's politics and everything, there's greed and everything. And there are systems that are designed to keep certain folks out and to allow other folks to get in that, whether that be people that have money to excel in those spaces. And it kind of takes away from the man that it should have been geared towards that are trying to get in. So I find that disheartening. And so as it relates to, how do you fight that challenge? I think that, doing some of the things that you're doing, building up a community that's willing to speak out against these things. And it comes with, a challenge, when you do that, you
Comes
become a
with
target.
consequences. Believe me.
Yes. Anytime you start to speak out, you're going to become a target. So you have to, be ready for that fight if that's what you choose to do, but it's the right fight. So, you build up a community of people that are fighting for the right things. It's not that we're just saying that, we want to do this just because we're actually trying to do it for the right reasons. And I think that anybody that's in that space should have, should have good opportunities. And now that the mask is coming off, like we're able to start to see behind the scenes and see what's really going on. And you can start seeing where people have been, getting over on folks. And I think it's disheartening because what people don't understand is that a lot of the laws that were put together and the people that advocated for this, they utilized veterans to get this law across Missouri. And I see veterans not really benefiting from this at all. You know what I mean? And that's disheartening as well. So you utilize us because that hit on the care and the hearts of the people that voted for it. And then the people that behind the scenes, then you fuck the veteran. That doesn't work out for me.
I want you to tell, sorry to switch gears for just a second, but I want you to tell Black Ken to come on the podcast. I want to reconnect with him. He got a micro business license. He's a veteran. I want him on the show.
Yeah, he got a micro business license, yes, for sure.
Yeah, I want him on the show for sure. I got a micro business dispensary license. I can't do anything with it. I feel like I'm probably going to fail at this. I have made almost zero progress.
Well,
You're right. There's a lot of challenges. I mean, it's not like opening a business like Wings, etc., or a Target, or a mom and pop this or that. It's not like that at all. There is so many compliance and state and federal restrictions and problems, and getting financing is, if you're trying to, my biggest thing is I can't find a location. Every time I look for a location, I can't get a realtor to help me, for one thing, because they don't want to bother with the special conditions that I need. So I have to research everything myself. And then when I find a place, usually a bank owns a lien, and then I can't get financing for it because it's federally illegal still, right? The bank won't sell to you because you're an illegal business, or they won't lease to you because you're an illegal business. Yeah. So there's a lot of challenges. So
that's I do got a realtor for you. So
I'll
give you, I'll give you somebody off of here or whatnot. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because again, on his face, the way that they sell it to the public, so the public could think, oh, well, these guys are getting this, and that's not the case. That's not it at all. They'll sell it this way and say, well, we're going to do this for the lower man, or for the man that's trying, or for the man that's gone through incarceration, or for the man that's been a veteran. They give you all this hoopla because it sounds good. It's good packaging. But then once you start to break open that packaging, you find out that it's not for you, there are other people and other entities at stake, and they're waiting on these things to happen so they can come in and take a license from you or take that business from you. So, yeah.
And a bigger picture behind that is some of these people and organizations were intimately involved
Oh
in the
yeah,
legal process that
yeah.
they're very now actively trying to circumvent or take advantage of.
Oh yeah. We were talking about offline, but we
Yes.
were talking about like how some of the guys that wrote the laws are now then taking they actually helped write these laws, or they wrote these laws for it to pass. Then the same lawyers that wrote these laws are the same lawyers utilizing the laws that they wrote to take it from people. That's crazy. That's asinine. So um, again, like my whole question a lot of time is who sent you? Like who sent you? Because and you already had motive, way back when. A lot of people play the long game in this space. So again, they'll say what this is, but then they'll write these things out to where it doesn't benefit you in the long haul, and they're waiting on you to make a slip up. They're waiting on you to get into a space where you have the license and you're just sitting on it, and you can't do anything with it. And then somebody wants to buy it from you, so that they can then now come get that and say, "Oh, well, we were not the little guy," but they're actually going to take your business.
Let me tell you an offer that somebody gave me. And this was somebody in the micro business space. They said that we got a guy, we're going to fund you 100%. We're going to build your building out. We're going to get it all ready for compliance. We're going to put all the stuff in it you need, point of sale systems. We're going to get all your staff trained up. We're going to put all the product. We're going to stock you up with product. And all we want for that is 90% of your business, and we'll give you a job in your store.
That's crazy. And so that sounds good. Well, it doesn't sound good. It sounds crazy. But what people don't understand,
it's against the rules for the program. For one thing, it's not a bad deal if you can sign into it. If that's your only option, if you're not really interested in building up a building and you're like, I'll take 10% of nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not a bad deal. But they're going to fuck you. Yeah, they're going to fuck you out of your 10%.
Exactly. But not only that, the rule says that you have to own 51%. So
the licensee has to. I think that the wording is a qualified applicant, or the licensee has to be not only a majority shareholder, but they also have to be a majority. I think what do they call it? Like voting interest as well. So they have to be in charge of the company. You can't just take away all their voting rights and say, oh, they own the company, but they don't have any decisions in the company. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So there's the swing right there. So they recognize that you can't get these assets or these finances for it. They give you that deal. Then the same person that wrote the law is now the person that's coming back to take it from you because you violated the law. It's crazy as shit. They're waiting on you, and they probably sent the guy to you that offered you that, which is even way worse. It's like it's insane.
If I told you who the person was that offered that to me, and it would probably make you just vomit in disgust.
I know how it works, man. I got to a space that after seeing how a couple of things work, I was like, you know what? I would just want to create products that you can put inside of it, inside of dispensaries, instead of trying to own the dispensary, anything, is there some new gadget that comes along with, smoking or, consuming the product that I can create and have that in there, because that's going to be the best way to consume revenue, not get caught up in all the legalities of it or whatnot. And even that, again, you have to find a workaround, just because you know that you're going to get played on the other side. So, I've started thinking about different things like that. So how can I brand in a different way, or have something that other people would desire that could consume these products, that doesn't allow me to have to be wrapped up into the legalities of it,
When I got into this, I was thinking this would be a blessing. It has been an anchor around my neck. I'm worse off now than I was before I got this license.
Damn.
Yeah. I regret my decisions to get into this program at this point. I mean, things could turn around for me, but it's not looking promising. there's a lot of challenges, and I haven't made any real progress in over a year. And like I said, there's a 2-year time limit to get your business commenced. So,
Okay. Well, I definitely want to help out as much as I can, man. I got some contacts, some legit contacts, so we can try to get some things. At least kick the can a little bit further down the road than where it has gotten you. Like I said, starting off with a realtor. I know realtors that actually specialize in just doing this particular piece or whatnot.
oh, really?
And yeah, they understand it and whatnot. That's how Black King got his. He got with a
Oh,
realtor.
really?
Yep.
Black Can. I need to
Yeah.
talk to Black Can.
Now, the cool part about Black Ken is that he's not really that black. He's like extremely light skinned.
Oh, really? Oh. Oh, so it's an ironic name. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's like calling me Handsome Dave.
Dave, the handsome Dave. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually a stage name because he does rapping a lot and whatnot. So it's how you use the stage
Oh,
name.
really? Does he
Yeah.
perform around Kansas City? I know some other performers
Yeah.
around Kansas City.
Yeah, he has.
You know Cully?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know Cully. That's funny.
What more
Yeah,
connected than you think?
that's funny. Yeah, I know Cully. I was just talking to him about going to an event at the warehouse, and I was like, "Hey, let's meet up at the warehouse." And he's like, "No, I don't want to listen to that trash." You know, we'll run into each other eventually. He was really fun. I ran into him. I think it was at the 420 party at the warehouse, and I met him then.
Smoky River before, like during their 420 events?
What's that?
Have you been down to Smoky River during their 420
No.
events? They had Mike Tyson and everybody here. It was a good time.
Oh, no. Oh, bummer. I would have loved to have met Mike.
I mean, it was a big outside event, VIP, and it wasn't really that expensive. It was like $20 to get in. If you wanted VIP, it was like $50 or whatever. But it was nice, man. Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really good time.
Wow.
And Wiz Khalifa here, a couple other artists here. It was really nice.
Nice. Awesome.
But now I know you vibe, I'll send you some different things that are ongoing, so we can link up.
Yeah, please do. Mm-hmm. I like to do live streams and stuff on location too. So I'm always down to go on location to do stuff too.
Yeah, most definitely.
A lot of times I don't get any interest, or people, I'm going to a lot of these events where there's vendors, and a lot of these vendors are like, some of them are very eager to talk to me, and some of them are like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not here. Get away from me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's like most people are still in the closet about what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever that's worth.
Right.
And, my thing is, if you're trying to protect the brand at this point in time, you probably should not be there.
Yeah. Many social equity applicants and small operators face constant setbacks. I mean, that's kind of been a theme of what we've talked about. As a coach, what is your top advice for maintaining resilience when everything seems to be, just going wrong?
Man, that goes back to like just having a community, having people that believe in you and what you're doing. Folks that you can
what's
lean
that
on.
like?
You got me, Dave. But I think I think that you have to have that, because the soul single human can only do so much, can only go so far. You need other people like your wife or friends that really believe in what you're trying to do, that can hold you up when these times get challenging or whatnot. They can help give you that. Because for me, like, man, I've been through a lot, so I already have this enormous amount of resilience and fuel just on my own. And I know that you do too, because I know you a little bit more than what people know. But even that can be draining. And that's when you need to look for people that, that you can actually lean on, that call, like we, setting up a call like this, or actually having a personal call like we had, like we were chatting the other day, where it just kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration. Kind of get you back into a space like, okay, I can do this, I can fight. And that's what you're looking for, is just, that moment to be able to take another swing, to take another fight, and hopefully that it lands in the space that you want it. Life is challenging in that way. So it's not ever going to be an easy task, especially when you try and do something as paramount as this, man. Like, it's going to have its fucking challenges, but it's the mental aspect of how do I keep going? Is like, do I got my community? Do I got what my true fight is? So, instead of asking, what's my why? It's what's I fighting for? What am I fighting for every day? So for me, I know the things that I'm fighting for, and that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me. So I think that right there in itself is the drive for that. Making sure that you're able to see it is, see your vision, and having that desire to see it through. And like I said, man, it's days where I want to give up. It's days where I feel like it's a bit much, but I think,
yeah.
Yeah. But I think that, getting back level headed, getting some of that sativa or that the lemon or whatever in you, you kind of like, okay, I can get this going.
Limonene.
You can get it going. So,
I was gonna talk about something else, but I think this is the right thing to do at this time because we kind of touched on it a little bit. Agree or disagree?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
the right approach is to quit.
Disagree.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a hard one. It's kind of like
now you're thinking about it, right? Yeah. Right? That's not as easy as it first seems, is it?
Yeah. It's kind of like poker. Like you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. But
ding, ding,
ding.
Yeah.
Before I fold them, man, I'm definitely going to do everything I can do to hold them out, and then, but my quitting is because I decided to quit. It's not because somebody beat me down and told me I had to quit. That's not ever a way I'm going to quit. I'm only quitting if I decide it's my best interest, it's in my best health or my family's best interest for me to walk away from something. But it's never going to be because of some opposition or some other person. They're not going to push me out.
That for sure. Right on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well said. That's going to be a clip later. What I wanted to tell you was we were talking earlier about doing martial arts and stuff. You met my wife one time that I remember. You remember Idol?
Yeah, Korean barbecue.
Yeah, she's like 5'5". I think she's 5'3". Small little Filipina, and her and I took boxing lessons for 3 months together. She went to boxing lessons with me. Yes. I wanted to go, and she's like, if you're going, then I want to go. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. This girl couldn't kill a fly. She's so meek. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when we first went, she sounded like, she couldn't hit nothing. But at the end of 3 months, I'm holding the focus mitts for her. She was putting some zip on those punches.
A nice little Pacquiao in there, huh?
Yeah. She's, that just goes to show you it's a lot about technique, learning the technique.
Most definitely.
It's not always about how strong you are. It's about, practicing what you're trying to do and technique.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Most definitely. So that was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that.
I have to see that in action, man.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of get back into boxing too a little bit. I mean, that was if you want to do something that's great freaking cardio,
that's it.
Go take a boxing class for an hour. Yeah. If you're not dragging your ass out of there on your knees at the end, you went to a bad school.
I remember one time we were in there, and I remember my first few days of just boxing in the gym. Probably back when I was 200, I was still good muscle, but just punching the light. He's like, I'm going to flash the flashlight. You need to punch the light. I'm like, all right. So I'm doing this. By the time I left out of there, everything was just drenched. I'm like, what is that? I didn't even hit anything. I'm just trying to hit a fake flashlight.
Right, yeah.
And just freaked me out. Yeah. So it's amazing cardio, but good, what do they call that? Endurance, stamina, builds it up really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think mental, it's a good mental exercise as well. Because boxing is about chess, man. It's not about checkers. It's about knowing when to strike your
layers.
And your opponent. Exactly, man. Exactly. And that's it's a good analogy for life, man. A good analogy for life.
Yeah.
For sure.
The cannabis community is full of people who face all kind of problems, legal troubles, stigma, that's a big one, especially if you come from the military community. You might not want to admit to anybody, or if you're working for the military community, that's still a big thing. And there's a lot of people in or former military that could really benefit from cannabis use. Financial hardship, how can they reframe that adverse effect as a strength?
You're really good at this. You're really good at this.
Wait. Hold on. Let's do it again. I'm gonna ask the question again. Ready?
All right.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the. Okay, let me go right now. Okay, Ken. People who face legal trouble, stigma, and financial hardships. How can they reframe that adverse effect as a strength?
Well, man, I would definitely say that, as it says in the walls, they're giving opportunities for people that have been in those spaces to advance themselves and now benefit from the same things that gave them the adversity that they challenged or that they first faced with, by giving them an opportunity to be some type of player within the cannabis industry. Now, the stigmas that come along with that are a whole different ballgame, but that's the new fight. So, the financial hardship face, like I got a couple of friends that actually like went down for like an eighth, like before it was ever legal. I had a couple of friends back when we were in college, and they couldn't get a job because they had 3.5 grams of weed on them, if that, or whatnot.
Wow.
It took a long time. And then I remember, as these laws started to change, these people could now, because of that, they couldn't get enough. You couldn't get a job. They couldn't get a job to pay a lawyer to actually get that off their record. You know what I mean? So that's the catch-22. Like, I'm not going to block you from a job, and then I'm going to block you from getting a job that pays a high enough wage to where you can actually get this taken off of your record or whatnot. So they had to wait until the legal system changed. And when the legal system changed, they were able to actually go out and get good paying jobs, like, becoming postal service members. I got a couple of friends that work for the post office now that had those troubles, that now that they don't have those troubles, they can now get a good wage and good benefits and things like that. So I think now that, the laws have changed in Missouri, for the common person that's maybe not seeking to get into the business, but, are looking for a legal pathway to be able to get back into society and become an active member to where they can make a good wage, I think the time is now for them, where they don't have to worry about those things that hindered them in the past. And then I think, also becoming educated about what it is that's going on. Knowing your rights. A lot of times people, they fall victim to the system because they don't know their rights, and they don't know anybody that can advocate for them, when there's a lot of different groups and organizations out there that are willing to advocate for you and help you down that road. So, using your resources. A lot of people don't know about resources, so they'll give up, or they'll quit, not understanding that there are tons of resources out there, or people that are willing to help in those spaces. So.
Wow, Ken. Well done, sir. Well done. I know you've got the spotlight right now, and I'm going to keep it on you for a minute because I actually teared up a little bit. I got to find a tissue to dry my tears before I don't want. Bee sting. It's from the bee sting. It's not because I'm crying. Okay, so you're an author and a speaker. Have you considered speaking directly to the cannabis industry about resilience and strategic thinking?
Actually, I haven't, but I would. Talking about leadership and talking about resilience is, it doesn't matter what community you're talking to. I think that you can, get in front of those audiences and, speak truth to power. So, given the opportunity, I would definitely love to do that. It hasn't been something that I've sought after. My thing is really helping the youth and helping people that may have gone down different paths and don't know that they can actually find a way out. Sometimes people think it's the end and they just don't know that there's another way. So I like to speak to those group of people that can, help them navigate life, and help them see that there's other ways, other rivers that run, they can get you where you're going. So I guess that would be along the same lines for sure. So given the chance, I definitely would.
I got one more question for you, but before I do that, I want to run this commercial one more time.
Let's do it, Dave.
If you're watching the Weedcast and you enjoy what I'm doing, you could please consider supporting me. And here's a little infomercial to tell you more about just that.
Is your life feeling empty? Lacking a certain spark? Are you suffering from a critical lack of Dave? You need more Dave in your life, and now you can get it with the Dave experience from the Weedcast. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
My life was so boring before Dave, but now I have Dave, and everything is Dave. Thanks, Dave.
That's right. With a sponsorship on the Weedcast, you can get all the Dave you can handle. Dave will talk about your brand. Dave will promote your event. Dave.
But seriously, if you have a brand or a service in the cannabis space and you want to get your message out to our amazing community, I'd love to partner with you. A sponsorship on this show is a direct line to a dedicated audience.
I'm loving the guy that had the tattoo right here on the forearm of Dave.
I know. That's my favorite part.
Right there.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. My wife hates that commercial. I play it all the time, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's the second." She doesn't want to hear it anymore.
Dave. I like it. It's catchy.
Yeah. So I got one question left, and then we can move this into the informal part of the show. Okay. So for someone in our community listening right now who feels defeated, what is the first actionable step they can take to start turning their adversity into an advantage?
Get educated. Usually, a lot of times when you're feeling defeated is because you don't, again, like I kind of said before, you don't know about your resources. You don't know about what's going on in the community, or you haven't done enough research on the laws. And even if you think you have, I think you probably need to go another layer deep, because there, again, a lot of people fail because they one or two things, man. They don't want to ask people for help. I think that's paramount to wherever you're going. Nobody can get through this life on just the strength of themselves on their own. You have to reach out and find help. And just when you're feeling like you're defeated and you want to give up, I tell the story about the KFC guy, Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. Like that guy, he was in his older years, but when he finally got that off. Now, for people don't know, before that, he had hotels and they were doing really well, but then they rerouted the train line or whatnot. So the trains started going in a different route. So they went away from his hotels and he lost that hotel business. So then he kind of got off into the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing. This dude went out and got denied like 900 times before he finally found somebody that would believe in, literally 900 times before he finally found somebody that would believe in what he was doing. And invest in them. And that's the type of mentality that you got to have. If you don't have the resources, the knowledge, keep going to go seek that, but also go seek help and keep asking people. And I bet you around that 900 time, if you haven't gotten before then, things will start to break open. And I know that seems challenging or like daunting, but what's the alternative? Fucking quitting? I'm not a quitter, and you shouldn't be either. So, in that space, I'm going to be like the KFC guy. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to ask the 900 person, and hopefully that's going to be the one that's going to break open the door for me.
Yeah. Well said, sir.
Yeah. Who doesn't eat? I don't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, but man, they got a brand. It's pretty strong, right? So.
Right. Yeah. I try not to eat that greasy kind of food. I'm trying to stay away from basically all fast food and all processed food. I try to make my food at home, There
you go. That's a great life.
Yeah. That's that. If you're, especially if you're trying to lose weight, that's a great way to do it. I can only eat food that you cook, you lazy ass.
Exactly. I haven't had fast food, man, in like 15, 16 years, bro.
Wow.
It's been a long, long time. And for that very reason, like it's over processed, fast food doesn't mildew or mold. Like that has to be a concern for you. You know what I mean? At some point in time. And then I think the good measuring stick for me is you talked about California sober, is looking what they, like in California, they will tell you what's in your products and why you shouldn't have this product, or have the warning label like this is going to cause you cancer. This is going to cause you this, from hair products to food products and everything. And the same thing is true. Like if you go to Europe, it's all labeled. They inform you what's going on or whatnot. So you're not in that space. So it's not just cancer research. Let's keep on donating money to it. And we don't have any solutions. They have solutions that they put out there, and it's pretty much stop eating that shit. And if you do,
right. Okay, man. Normally about at the 1 hour mark, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes in. I transition into the pants optional portion of the show where we just kind of kick it. There's no more formal questions or anything. I like people to tell a joke during this time. You have a joke you want to share with everybody?
I don't. That's good though. I mean, yeah, I need to work on that. I need to work on some more jokes. Zero going right now.
I know one.
Let's hear it.
It's a knock knock joke, but you have
Oh
to
man.
start it.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Uh, More Dave.
So, yeah, right. More Dave. Oh man, it's been great having you on the show and reconnecting with you a little bit, man.
And 100%, brother. I can't wait to get it back to you in person and have some times out, man. I think it'll be good. I haven't had Korean barbecue since we last went, so I'd like to do that again. And yeah, like I just said, sit down and just have a good talk. And then, of course, I'm going to try to send over some resources, man, to kind of help you on your path. So,
okay, yeah, we'll connect after the show. Have you been, and I know you can't eat any of this now, but in November, what time in November? I know you're going to be set up for Thanksgiving, right?
nah, I'm gonna actually go to a little bit right after, like the week of Thanksgiving is kind of when
wow.
it's when the program stops, like the week of. So I'm gonna have to go through Thanksgiving. But here's my thing, man. I was already struggling during Thanksgiving anyway because I would always cook something totally different than what everybody else had because I wasn't about to eat that shit. I grew up on all those different things, and not to say that it's not good and that you can't have that once a year. But I was trying to do something that was different, get some new flavors out there for my family so they could try some other different things. So I come up with all different type of vegetarian and vegan recipes to try to, to infuse inside of that. So,
Yeah. I really would love to take you to the new Korean restaurant that Idol and I love, which is K-Pot. Have you been there?
I haven't.
Oh man.
We got to go.
It's even better than the other place we went to.
We got to go.
It's like a chain place. They're starting to show up all over. So there's like a couple in the Kansas City area. There's one out by where maybe that's what we could do. We could meet out by where the Speedway is.
Yeah.
There's one out there.
Yeah,
we could meet out there. That's kind of like probably halfway between the two of us. We link up out there. We'll have to wait until after November, maybe early December or something, and get you in there. But it's a lot of meat, though.
Hey, man, we'll have a good time.
Okay, all right.
Because I don't remember
how Korean barbecue is, right?
Yeah, I remember a lot of damn kimchi when we was over in Korea. I remember the first time I went out to like Pocheon or Icheon and had some kimchi, like my first time ever having kimchi, and I was supposed to be on site. Dude, I sat on that toilet for days, brother. I could not move because I had never had that level of kimchi before. It was it's like over there they have like 31
I love kimchi.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Every time they'd bring your food out to the table, they'd bring like 5 or 6 little different things of kimchi, and when you ate that, they'd bring more out. It was all good too. I loved it. Some people don't like it, but I really enjoyed it.
I love like when we used to be over there and we want fish, and like, what do you want? And they take you out to the front, excuse me, and you pick your fish, and like that's the fish that you're like, that fresh, huh? Fresh.
That fresh.
Yeah. That was good
You've
stuff.
You've never had fish that fresh before, I tell you, and it was good too. Yeah, they got it going on.
Yeah, they used to serve the shrimp with the eyes still. I'm like, those eyes? Yeah.
My wife from the Philippines, she came here and she was cooking fish, and she always cooks it with a head on, which is kind of a weird thing in America, but the fish absolutely tastes better. I had her cook 2 fish, one with the head on and one with the head off, and the one with the head on tasted better. I must get some kind of flavor or something, but
I agree.
Definitely tastes better with the head on. Yeah.
Pause, but yeah, I like that.
I think I have about run my course here, brother. I will let you have final thoughts if you have anything you'd like to share with the audience before I let you go.
I would say that stay true to yourself. Don't take life too, have a lot of fun. Before it's all said and done, smoke a blunt. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I had I don't know if it was Seneca. I like the kind of the Stoic philosophy.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself as dead. Now go out and live your life, the rest of your life, the way you should.
I like that. I like that.
You know, if you died right now, what would you wish you could be doing?
Yeah.
Holding your significant other, staring at the sunset, smelling a flower, petting your dog.
Yeah.
You know, do all that.
Yeah, it's a definitely it gives you definitely a different spark under your ass for sure when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Because life is about perspective, and that just gives you a different perspective. And it's one that makes you like,
Sure.
hey, yeah, I do got to get up and get going. So, because it's short, man. This life is really quick, so you got to live it.
Yeah, it was just yesterday. I was figuring out how roly polies work and playing with dandelions and bugs out in the yard and skinning my knee. That was yesterday.
Yeah, real talk.
Tomorrow I'm going to be in the ground. If we're talking that kind of scale, you know what I mean? I ain't got that much time left compared to all the time that's behind me.
Yeah, man. We got to definitely live it to the fullest. You know, one of the things I keep right in my office is this hourglass. And it really helps me with, time management. Oftentimes that we like, because right here you can see time ticking away really quickly instead of just sitting on a watch or a thing. Like this gives me the focus that I need to kind of get going. So, I really like this. I think I would, but like it's really helpful in that sense of putting things in perspective, So
right on. All right, brother. Thanks so much for being on the show. I've loved having you here. We'll follow up soon. Thanks for being on, my man.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.